Welcome all to Beauty for Ashes International, etc. I'm Preaching the Word Worldwide Network every Sunday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. As stated, you all are invited. The Bible chapter for today will be concerning talents and how God gave us talents and expects us to utilize them, whether they be spiritual, physical, financial, etc., all for his glory, his purpose, and his use. He states in his word, if he be lifted up from the earth, then he will draw all men unto him. The Bible chapter / verse will be coming from Matthew 25, chapter 14 through, verse 14 through 28. And it reads, for the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country, who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods. And unto one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1, to every man according to his several ability, and straightway took his journey. Then he that had received the 5 talents went and traded with the same, and made them other 5 talents. And likewise, he that had received 2, he also gained other 2. But he that had received 1 went and digged into the earth and hid his Lord's money. The topic for today is, if we don't use them, we lose them. God has instilled inside of all of us merits, capabilities, or power to accomplish or do something. So in other words, he is just waiting on us to be proactive and put our talents either in motion or in place. He tells us in his word that if we do our best, he will do the rest. And also the slothful and sluggard will have nothing. Now, we will be welcoming our guests to our show, music producer, poet, writer, business owner, beat maker of fresh spiritual, etc., off the chain beats, and much, much more. But we will let him elaborate on that. So welcome Timothy Hamilton Gilmore Jr. to our
Thank
show.
you, Rhonda. Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Okay. So you're so welcome to our Beauty for Ashes International, etc. show, Timothy. So, and also, so you stated you're from the Central Savannah Riverside area as well, correct?
Yes. I was born in Augusta. My parents, they moved me over to North Augusta, South Carolina. See, Augusta's in Georgia, and it's like right next to the Savannah Riverside, And pretty much if you drive 5 minutes down, you're in a different state. So I'm constantly back and forth between both of them, doing different things, working with artists, working with different promoters and a lot of other people in the industry. And just trying to, network sideways and build a brand,
Exactly. I hear you. Okay, now, Timothy, I guess we'll just like right before the interview questions, I guess we'll just kind of like let you like elaborate, if you don't mind, like on sharing, like I guess your spiritual upbringing, such as like you stated, your father being a pastor and raising you like in the church, and like you singing in the choir, and like even at times and even now, and also like one of your talents of playing the piano. Like, would you like to like elaborate on some of that before our for interview questions?
Sure. My daddy is a preacher. As far as I know, he's always been. I remember as at a young age, probably was like 8 or 7. It was me, my sister, my brother, and my mom and my dad as a family. We used to go visiting like the nursing homes and singing and performing for them. There was this one song that my dad, I guess my dad wrote it because I never heard it anywhere else. But each one of us, like all of the siblings, had a verse. And it was so simple, we had to wait in order. My verse was simple. It was like, I got my ticket. Oh, got it in my hand. Oh, I got my ticket, Lord. Got it in my hand. And that was like the only part I had of the song. And at a young age, I know we used to go everywhere and just perform it. My brother had a different part. My sister had a different part. Um, I guess it really kind of trained me to be able to perform per se, even though it wasn't much. I already saw him playing instruments, like he would play the piano, he would play the guitar, the bass guitar. So I guess I kind of picked it up, and then I was like, well, let me try to hit a note or two. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me get this keyboard out and see what I can do. I started like listening to different melodies that I would hear around, and then I would simply just like repeat the melody or learn how to do it, feel for it, and recreate the notes that way at a young age. It got to the point where I noticed that I could like do poetry. I started speaking, and then it got easier and easier as it came. Next thing you know, I was writing poems, and then I was like, well, hey, I started. I was like, if I could do poetry, and then I'm listening to music on the radio, and most of the music on the radio is poetry. It's just in a different format. I was like, maybe I could, you know, create a tune and do the poetry to the tune and then record it. Now, this was way long time ago. Like I remember when I don't even know if it was like a Bell South microphone, but the little computer mics that had a really long neck and then they had like a little skinny thing, the first ones that ever came out. I took a keyboard, literally played the tune that I created on the keyboard live, took one of those computers and hit the sound recorder. That was the first thing I ever recorded on. And
Wow.
they didn't really have like software for recording. So it was just one live take. So I had to basically record the verses and the chorus in one live sitting. Because if you paused or if you messed up, you had to start all over. Like it's like one song, one take, because that's all you had. And by me doing that and doing so many early creations at that age, it got to the point where doing freestyles or just making music off the head or off the dome became easy. Because once the technology caught up, it was like, hey, I've been recording songs all the way through from start to finish, 3 minutes nonstop, including the chorus. So I can easily just do a verse, stop it, do the chorus, program it, and I just kept on doing it, mastering my craft. In school, I noticed that I did it even more. Like I was the guy that was beating on the desk at the table, making beats and freestyling and keeping the other kids entertained and had them laughing to the point where I would still do my work, but everybody else was like failing because they was listening to me. They was like, "What's Tim gonna do today? Tim, hit that song." And it got to the point where I was like, well, you know what? I'm gonna try to do something with this. So I recorded over like 100 songs just on a computer. I sent them off to get copyrighted, but this was before digital anything. I had to like the physical CD and mailed it in. I don't even know if they have it at the copyright office now, but they got me registered some kind of way. So I'm pretty sure that they do. Um, then everything just caught up. Everything started getting digital. It was pretty much like I was ahead of my time, because all the things that I was doing started catching up with me, and then I ended up going to college for like a semester and meeting some people there. And then one of them had a program called, it was like Fruity Loops at the time, and with Fruity Loops, it was so easy to just compose music to the point where everything was linear. Like it went from left to right. I was really good at math, so I was able to dissect how the beats should be composed in my head before I even laid them down. Then it got to the point where I started like creating beats for other people and they liked it. And they was like, man, I like that beat. So I was like, well, if everybody likes my beats,
Yeah,
that's mostly everything they say. Man, the beat's hard, the beat's hard. And what do we listen to mostly when we listen to music? The beat. It catches us.
exactly. The beat, like you're doing for me,
Yes.
creating a beat.
Yes.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yes. The
Mm-hmm.
beat is like the foundation. So once you
Exactly.
get a
Right.
nice once you get a nice beat going for yourself and you can pretty much do anything with it. The vocals, they just add that extra flavor to it to enhance it. But you can have great vocals with no beat and nobody's gonna listen to it. They're gonna be like, that sounds good. She can really sing. Change. Cut on that beat by Tim G Studios. Let's hear that one. You know what I'm saying? Or whoever. So
Exactly.
I just got better over time, better over time. I put out an album, I put out like a R&B album at first, because everybody, we live life, we're not born perfect. Everybody knows that. Sometimes you got to grow into your calling.
Yeah.
You have to experience something to even be able to reach somebody. How can I tell somebody else how to dig themselves out of a ditch if I never seen nobody dig themselves out or I never climbed out myself? But if I fell in a ditch and was able to find a way out, once I get to the top, I can be like, hey, oh, you down there too? Don't worry about it, bro. I found a way out. All you gotta do is trust in God or whatever the thing may be, and it just kind of branched from there. I'm still not where I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Um when I put out my first album, it was like an R&B album, and I called it Round One. And it was simply because I heard all the rumors about, artists, they get robbed, they don't get paid. So I was like, I ended up giving my life to God. I think it was like, I can't remember the year, but I like really wholeheartedly wanted to do everything right, was almost trying to be perfect, even though they say nobody's perfect. I was chastising myself when I made mistakes because, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak.
Exactly.
And
Watch and pray. That's right.
right. And it
Watch
was
and
to the
pray.
point where I gave up all of my sins and I was able to really get in touch with my inner self. And I made a Christian album called Reborn, you know.
Okay.
I haven't really released it yet. This was back in like 2009. Only
Okay.
thing I did was I copyrighted it. I put it on YouTube. But back then, the sound quality is not as good as my stuff today, So I do really need to go back in and re-record it and remix it and remaster it and put it out. But that's definitely a project that's gonna be for the future. And that's pretty much how I really got started. Round one, guess what? They robbed me. I signed a publishing administration deal, and
Unfortunately. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
and
Exactly.
it's like
But
it
like you
came
stated,
true.
you learn, from, just whatever, I'm not gonna just state bad choices, but you just learn, you live and you learn,
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
like they rob you, now, never to, just go and revisit that area. You know how to,
yes,
make better choices now, and then you just follow your heart, like you stated with your songs and your beats, like the one you're creating for me, it's in the making and et cetera and stuff like that. But you just follow your heart. Cause I know I used to sing like songs, just like heavenly songs, just songs that, just dawned on my heart. And I'm
mm-hmm.
sure that's how you did your, the beats and, all of the remainder of your, music, stuff just from your heart and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that, even as a child. You just
Yes,
follow your heart and you can't go wrong, you
it's
know?
like sometimes the music almost comes to me. It's like I
Hmm.
might be sitting down one day and then a tune might come in my head and I'm like, oh, that's nice. So I know I gotta immediately like go in there and either record it on my phone so I don't forget, or go there and make the beat on my program that I use currently. And it's really the ones that come to me that be the most inspirational or the most, I guess what we would call tight, the most tightest music that I've made.
Hmm.
Also, like I'm really good at taking concepts that other people make, like even for you, you was telling me about this concept that you had, and
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
it's like it's my specialty. It's like it's one of my talents that the Lord has given me that I'm really good at.
Exactly.
and I want to use it. I want to help everybody that I can.
Exactly.
Preferably gospel artists, because I want to make sure that I ain't gonna lie. With the music my dad like grew up listening to, it was like old school. The
Mhm. Mhm.
music that the young kids and everybody's listening to, it got like a nice bass line, a nice
Mhm.
melody. They might throw some auto tune on there, like
Exactly.
like it's a new age now. And with me being a new age generation, why not
Exactly.
make music for people like me? Like people that
Mhm.
like to have systems in their car or whatever with the big speakers and the bass jumping. But why we can't be having the bass jumping for the Lord sometimes,
That's
you know?
right. Exactly. 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 I
So
understand completely. And God looks at, like the Bible states, men look at the outward appearance, to judge and etc. But God looks at the heart. Maybe it's
right,
something in that bass music that's, I know for me, maybe it's something in that bass and booming music that's touching you about God. Maybe when they mention the name God or the name Jesus, that makes your heart leap, and stuff like right
right,
in that booming music, like, okay, God, like God, I surrender, whatever. Maybe that's what touched you. It's not just, oh, this is so worldly and secular, et cetera, or whatever. It's just maybe
right,
something in that you can pinpoint that really touch your heart, really,
right,
like, like I stated and stuff like it made your heart, leap and pant and stuff like that, like, because I know me, like whenever I'm listening to different, varieties of music, Christian music, of course, it's like I don't just judge, oh, this is Christian rap or whatever. No, I don't judge. I mean, if it's something that's representing God, and making mention of God and stuff like that, and it touches my heart, like for God I'll live, for God I'll die. Okay, if you want to put that in a rap, you can put it in a rap. For God I live,
hmm
for God I'll die. Okay, listen to what you're stating. For God you'll live, for God you die. Not for Baal, not for the devil.
right,
So it don't matter rap. Okay, you can reach people by praise dancing. You can reach people by rapping
hmm
for God. You can reach people by a
hmm
hug. You can reach people by food ministry. You can reach people any type of way, whatever God leads and puts on your heart and stuff like that.
You're right.
So
You're right.
yeah, so I mean, you don't supposed to first of all judge, you got to sweep around your own front door. You don't supposed to judge, like the Bible states, judge not or you will be judged, and stuff like that, because you never know
Yeah.
why the people are feeling that type of music. It can be,
Right.
like I say, it can be praise dancing. What about praise dancing? Maybe they're praise dancing, they have nothing but God on their mind and in their heart. For all I was
hmm
just there ringing my butt. What, but okay, so I mean, if they're just praise dancing, that's not ringing butt or whatever. That's just praising God and worshiping God and stuff. People are so
Yeah.
quick to judge. Whenever you need to just really and truly sweep around your own front door, before
Right.
you try to sweep around somebody else's. Get that mote and beam out your own eye. Like the Bible states, get the mote and the beam out of your own eye before you try to get it out of mine, and stuff
hmm
like that. So me, I just, follow the word in its entirety and stuff like that. And I let God be the judge. Only God can judge me. Not
Right.
me. Not nobody that's not perfect like myself can judge me. And that
Right.
that's how I do. Long as God knows my heart, that's all that matters.
Right.
And I'm sure I'm saying the same for you as well, huh? As long
Yes,
as
you
God
are.
knows
You
your
are.
heart.
Because God knows my heart. Nobody's
Yeah.
perfect. He says, be ye perfect, which only means try to be perfect. But
Strive for perfection. That's right.
when you
Get back
fail,
up.
that's only
Get back
because
up.
you're not at the level that you want to be. Because a lot of times we might be doing things that are wrong that we don't even know are wrong. So
Hmm.
how can you be perfect if you don't know everything? Only thing
Exactly.
is, if you know something that's wrong, then if you choose to do wrong, then that's a choice at that point. But if
Yeah.
you accidentally make a mistake and you didn't know it and somebody brings it to your attention, don't beat yourself up about it. Just grow
Exactly.
from there and don't make the same mistakes. And to
Exactly.
speak back on the music, like why does everything have to have a label on it? See, that's the problem. We try to put everything in a box, but sometimes stuff is not in a box. If you think about it, They say, oh, that's worldly music, that's worldly music. Why is it worldly music? Is it because of the instruments? No, it's because of the words. If me as a composer like the melody that may sound hip hopish, but the words that I choose to allow another artist to get on them with is inspirational or positive, that is no different from me making the same beat and letting somebody else that's not giving a positive message get on it. See, the composers are universal. The artist that gets on it is what they want to share to the world. It's what they want to, give out to the world. And that's what really the difference is. It's not about the beat that makes it worldly or not. It's about the words that you speak. That's what changes the genre. If you're talking about doing something wrong, like killing somebody, that can't be Christian music because it says thou shalt not kill. Now, if you're talking about some love thy neighbor like you love thyself, and if you fall down, you can get some help. That's not a messed up topic. That's something positive. So that wouldn't fall into a negative type of music,
Exactly.
So I really learned that. I'm looking forward to working with a lot of gospel artists. Any artist really, as long as they're not talking about nothing negative, you know what I mean? Like stuff that will actually strengthen the world, and support love and understanding. I'm down for that all the way,
Exactly. All righty. You're right. But I guess we need to at least get into the first question, Tim, because we only have like a few more minutes left.
Okay.
We just enjoying the goodness of God and stuff. Okay, so I guess we'll just ask like the first question. I had like 4 interview questions, but we're obviously gonna have to revisit them another time.
Okay.
Okay. So the first question, Tim, is so tell us first a little about after God revealed some of your talents to you when you were age 10 and you started recording your music. And also the first time you realized that you was a poet as well. And also the age that you started poetry also. And some of the cool beats you've done from songs, like you're in the process of working on, like beats for a project, for me and stuff like that. So just tell us a little about that, and I think you probably pretty much like kind of covered that one, like when you're stating like when you're a little child and you sang in the choir and stuff like that. So would you like to elaborate some more on that? I guess like what I'm stating is like when God first revealed to you that you had talents, since that's what the show is concerning, talents and stuff. Like how did you first realize it and stuff like that?
It was at a really young age. It was pretty much when I started doing poetry. I had to be like 8 or 9. I remember that I got an invitation to the Poets Convention in Washington, D.C., but I was so young, I didn't even think to tell my parents because all I read was you had to pay $100. And I'm like, I'm 8. Where am I get $100 from? I can't even go. So I never even told them. I didn't know if it was legitimate or not, I was like, how do these people know I'm a poet? But that was when like AOL first came out. And I must have been putting stuff online back then. And then once I listened to music and dissected it, realized I can make music and play the piano. That's really where it took off at, and I just went from there and kept on going.
Okay. Okay, Tim, if people are interested in trying to look and check out some of your inspirational music, where would they go to find it?
You can either go to Spotify if you have it, Pandora, Apple Music. Only thing you have to search for is Timothy Hamilton Gilmore Jr. One of the hit singles that I got out right now is Salvation. I got it. The beat sounds amazing. I mixed and mastered it like last year. So yeah, check me out. It's Timothy Hamilton Gilmore Jr. You can Google me. I should come up as an artist. And that's pretty much where you would find my music. All of my new inspirational music will be under that artist name, Timothy Hamilton Gilmore Jr. And the reason I use my whole name is because I need the Lord to know who I am.
Okay, thank you so much, Tim.
Anytime.
All right, so thank you so much for joining our show, and I'll see you later, okay? I'll talk
All
to
right.
you.
Thank you, Yolanda, for having me. Thank you.
Okay, see you later. And thank you all for tuning in. Until next time, you take care. If you would like to receive Christ in your life, please repeat this prayer after me. Bow your heads, please. Say, Father, I come to you in the name of Jesus. Lord, please forgive me for all of my sins, and please help me and have mercy on me, Jesus. Say, Father, I realize I'm a sinner. Forgive me for my sins. Come into my heart and save me. And I accept your salvation, and I receive your forgiveness. In the mighty name of yours, Jesus. Amen. Now, if you have repeated that prayer after me, you are now a born-again Christian, and the angels in heaven are rejoicing. Be blessed.
Amen.